think Big Brother is more heavy-handed in the production and steering toward certain people to win and certain things like that. I have a friend who was on Amazing Race. She made it to second place when Tyler and James won. And, you know, we've talked about production, and they were, like, very, like, hands-off. You know, and Survivor, you know, we all know some people from Survivor, not so much with them either, unless they're just not telling us that they told them where the item was, you know, I don't know. But, like, with us, I mean, it's very heavy-handed. In fact, they tell you in the diary room what to say, what to do, and I wasn't cooperative, duh. So, they're like, why don't you put Jeff up when I was HOH? Why don't you put Jeff up? No, because I think he has a coup d'etat, and then he'll use it. They're like, oh, what makes you think that? Michelle could have it. I mean, they literally brought up her name. Michelle could have it. You know, so they throw people under the bus in the diary room. I mean, they're very heavy-handed.
When the rumors got out about the whole pretzel thing, I went into the DR and I was like, dude, how did you guys not see pretzel messages being written? And they're like, we didn't see anything. And I'm like, there's a fucking 1,000 cameras around the house, you didn't see anything? And then, you know, come to find out, I mean, they talked to you about it before you did it, and then it became a storyline, so I'm like, dummies. I mean, they saw it, they knew about it, and they have an agenda. And they can't force it to happen, but they can sure as shit lead it, you know, in that way and hope that it works out.
So I respectfully disagree with you guys because I think that we all have two chances to win every competition. Like, everyone has a chance to compete in HOH and everyone has a chance to compete in a POV. And whether or not they're athletic or they're quiz or whatever they are, they never do an athletic HOH and an athletic POV. So I think that while you feel that it may be geared towards some people, I feel that we all have a chance, and we're all playing the game because we love it. We're all in that house because we love Big Brother. We love the game, we wanted to be there, and I think that we all had the same chance to win and the same chance to play the game just as much as anyone else.
Well, I think Reagan should talk about this story because I heard it from you, but you recounted better how there was a week when we were going, it was the week we got you out of the house, and we were making you think we were getting Brendan out, but we were obviously knew it was going to be you. And the morning of, there was like some talk of us deciding to maybe get Brendan instead. And correct me if I'm wrong, the morning of, didn't you and Brittany both get called in the morning of eviction and be like, are you guys, you're sure you're still getting out Rachel, right? You're still getting out Rachel? And we're like, yeah. And then of course there's this massive ropes course and fucking mediators because they knew that they were setting up a physical challenge and they were worried that if like we flipped and ended up voting out Brendan instead, they're like, oh fuck, Rachel's not going to win HOH. So, of course, and they didn't.
I asked you guys to vote me out.
And they couldn't make him win that ropes course. But that's what I'm saying. They edge it. They lead it. They know what they want to happen. And Lane could have won it, certainly. But it's just, it helps. It helps that it was a physical thing. So.
Well, how many of the competitions are complete and total luck? I mean, really?
None of
It's just,
I disagree.
When there's a tiebreaker.
Shooting a ball into like.
Wait a minute. When there's a tiebreaker and they ask you how many seconds you've been in the house, don't tell me that you're such a mathematician that you can come up with a motherfucking number. Guess. It's a guess. It goes up, and sometimes it's just a guess. They have their trick questions and all of this stuff. You have to take a wild guess. So it's not all skill. It's not all endurance. It's a little bit of everything. And if you think that there's no luck involved, you're high.
No, I absolutely kind of agree with Dick on that. It is. There's a mix. I mean, because no matter how much people want to steer competitions in a direction, they're never going to guarantee somebody's going to win a competition. And,
no.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like, no matter how much, even, you know, us talking about the DR and all that stuff, I can say from what I see of other reality televisions, I think Big Brother probably is the closest to come to a real television show and trying to pull their hands out as much as they can but having said that, how interesting would it be to see people sleep 24 hours a day and do nothing if they didn't stir the pot, right?
Push Reagan down to get to that seat.
There's definitely luck involved. I mean, if we go into a puzzle competition and it's me against Peyton and Lane, no offense, but yeah, I mean, I think that they move around competitions to suit certain people. I think that they wanted Matt definitely to be forced into a position where he would have had to use the Diamond Power veto, but it makes the show more interesting. Yeah, he used it so well. Thank God we got rid of Kathy finally. It was such a threat. She kept winning those competitions.
Taking up all our DR time.
So basically, yeah, there's a lot of luck involved, but the bottom line is you have a chance to win a competition. And if you win, or somebody from your alliance wins, you're not going to go home. You're going to stay in the game. So yeah, so maybe it's a puzzle competition, and I'm not as good at puzzles as Reagan. But I got the opportunity to win. If I win, guess what? He's going home, not me.
And the game is a lot about timing too, which we learned in our season. Like, it's a lot about timing. You have the chance to win 2 competitions a week, and you might want to win a POV, but you might not want to win an HOH that week because you might want someone from your alliance or a different alliance to win HOH that week, and then you win the POV. So it's the whole entire game is a game. Like, who you form alliances with, what games you win, what competitions you win. Everything you do is a game, and while there is maybe a skill and a luck and an athletic competition, it doesn't matter which competition you're playing in, because if you need to win a luck competition, then you need to make sure that you win that one. It's a game, like you have to time it, you have to play it like what Michelle said, it's a game of chess, and you have to think, always you have to think ahead of your opponent.
The game is so much more than competitions.
You can't throw the wrong competition right now.
Right, exactly.
Big Brother is kind of infamous for the twist that they like to put on the season, but last year they kind of got away from that a little bit. They went back to kind of the old school.
Oh, come on. They had the Saboteur twice. They had Pandora's box up
Well,
my ass.
but it wasn't like they brought in, people that knew each other, or surprise, here's your kid, or here's
They
your
brought
brother that you didn't know
They
about.
put Rachel back in the house for a day.
Well, how do you feel about
Matt came
twists?
up.
Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you
All
like
the
the old
twists
school
suck.
season?
Yeah, I like Big Brother 10 was great.
If they had good casting, they wouldn't need the twist.
Yep, that's
Good
true.
personalities make the show. The personalities are what make the show, not the goddamn twist.
Yeah.
Just from a player standpoint, it's like when we all go in there, we all really want to play, we want to compete. So when you throw in like crazy twists that we can't control, like a Diamond Power Veto or a coup d'etat, none of us can't do anything about it. So it's kind of like you're trying to play as hard as you can, and something like that
And
happens.
twist with rules that they don't even explain properly,
Well,
you
that's
didn't
why
understand.
I didn't jump on making an alliance right away, and that's what screwed me over, because I thought the Saboteur was going to be, like, out for our game and not just pulling pranks. So I was very apprehensive to make an alliance the first week, and that's why I ended up looking like a floater on TV.
Well, if you guys remember too, that it didn't used to be like up until All-Stars, any big power was up for grabs for anyone. Even in All-Stars when Boogie won the coup d'etat, it was a puzzle, and every single person in the house had a fair shot at it. After All-Stars, all that shit changed with the Diamond Power Veto, with the coup d'etat in season 11, where the producers, they can go online, the CBS has a popularity poll. Jeff was off the goddamn scale. America's sweetheart, people's man of the year. All the women were wet over him, and all the men wanted to be like him. And he was like off the scale in popularity, and what do? They go, oh, who do you want the coup d'etat to go to? Well, who the hell do you think they're gonna vote for? So why didn't they just hand it to him? That used to be straight above board where anybody could win it, and they just handed it to Jeff. And the Diamond Power of Veto, Matt, that was another power they've only used in season 4. That was only used 1 or 5, Diane's season, I think. And that was a huge power that Matt fumbled. But they just gave it to Matt with the Pandora's box. It wasn't up for competition for a fair, like a puzzle where everyone went in the diary room and took their guess, or whatever the hell it was. It was just given to these people. And that's easily just like, changing the game because they don't like the way it's going. And I don't think it's cool.
I think the twists are fun because they make you think, but I think that the powers are what really mess up our game. So I think twists are fun, like the Saboteur twist, that could have been a really cool twist. Like that would have really changed up the game if it was someone that was really out to break up alliances and destroy, people's games and, mess people up mentally and kind of like pull a little bit of like an evil dick into our season.
That's paranoia.
Yeah, like paranoia. I think that would have been really fun. But
it's the execution of the
exactly,
twist.
the
It's like, as Saboteur, people are always like, you sucked as Saboteur because you didn't do anything, you just recorded stupid messages. Yeah, I'm going to do the least amount of work I can to get $20,000. I'm not going to put myself out there and ruin my game, get pegged as a Saboteur, and then get kicked out of the house for it.
Well, it's not your fault that the twist sucked.
Right. If you're going to do it, give us power to go behind the walls and listen to people's conversations.
Right.
Let us do some real shit, but they don't want to alter the basic rules of the house so much.
I think that HOH TV should have sound.
Yeah.
I was very disappointed.
I agree.
The HOH TV, does everybody remember when they had the secret room?
Yeah.
And only the HOH knew and they could go and they could listen? That would change the game. When I was in the HOH, did you even watch the goddamn TV? No, why? Because you see a bunch of people talking, they're gonna be talking anyway.
We used to watch Andrew Prey, that was fun. With his like ninja outfits. So we
We'll keep it real.
Who was watching Lane masturbate?
There were times where Brendan, like when after Brendan, Rachel, and I had our split, where Brittany and I would be in the HOH and Matt, we would be in the HOH Matt, watching the two of them, and we would do like mystery science theater, like, oh Brendan, you're so perfect. Flex your muscles for us again.
So it's fun to play with it.
Yeah, and we would play games.
Right.
And
Yeah,
that
sure.
That would be a good twist. If
That
they
would
had
be
sound
cool.
on the television where you can hear people on the hammock. That's the conversations I want to hear because that's where everybody goes to talk shit about you.
Well, and what they say is when production comes and visits you in the hotel room before you move in, they say this show is not about sight, it's about sound.
Right.
We have to be able to hear you. So if you really want to do something significant to alter the course of the game, it has to be sound-based.
Right.
Fuck a F word. So screw the TV. I don't even need to see the image. I want to hear people.
Right.
That's what
It's
it's all
like
about. That's why
usually-
everybody whispers, and that's what everybody hates about the show is everybody whispering.
Right.
Yeah.
And all about the sound, that's why I would put the microphone by my butt every time I farted.
But it's easy to see like Lane and Hayden and Enzo hanging out, and it's like a very obvious to us, like seeing them
And they
hanging out.
wanted us to know.
They
They
want-
wanted us to know about the Brigade Alliance.
Right.
I mean, because it would have
But
caused
we didn't
the
hear
split in the
anything.
house, but we
Yeah.
couldn't hear anything.
So we didn't know about these secret meetings that they were having. We saw them like playing pool, so we're like, oh yeah, these three guys playing pool, it's cool, whatever, you know, they're
Well,
friends.
that's the biggest tell in the house is when you walk in and everybody's in a circle and they stop with this look on their face like they're in the middle of a circle jerk you just caught them. Like everybody's so stupid that
Every
whenever I
time
was
I
talking
walk
about
in.
it, I would be like, have another conversation in my mind. Scoot back, I'm trying to talk to that bitch.
We
I
both
have
know
another
it's like the
conversation in
opposite
my
side.
mind. I'm like, I'm talking about what we're gonna have for dinner. Oh, it's gonna be tacos tonight, right away. You know, you don't have that look of like, oh, they just called me. We're planning your demise, bitch.